us the kings, suck on a mother. This is from the beginning. That's what Paul was saying. Paul was a one-man bumbuckler army standing up. And many of you pussies ain't ready for this. That's the reason why you don't like Paul. Because suck on a mother, brawling. If you can't understand the Bible, if you don't understand the Bible, you want to use Strongs, and when we go there, you don't want to go there, then don't fucking talk. Keep your fucking mouth shut. Read it again for them.
Romans chapter 9 verses 21. Had not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor?
He's still talking to the same individuals who asked him, why does God find fault? He's saying, Bumblewall, you're the vessel of dishonor, you piece of shit. Wanna find it for me? Isaiah called them nothing. Find that.
Continuing Romans chapter 9 verses 22. What if God, willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endureth with much long suffering the vessel of wrath fitted to destruction, and that he might make known the riches of his glory on the vessels of mercy?
So the context is talking about two fucking vessels. Paul is talking about the vessels of God, the children of Israel, and the vessel of unrighteousness is the people he is talking to. Who is Paul talking to? Esau. Oh, the blood clot this. You don't figure that out by now. Read that precept, my brother. I know you have it.
Can in my bookmark in a form, I find it quick and fast on Google. Give me a second there.
But read it again.
Romans chapter 9 verses 21. Had not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor?
So the context, fam, just stick it on your wall. From up above, we've been talking about vessel dishonor, vessel honor, vessel wrath, vessel love. And this is where the other brothers went off, because they seem to think the context changed. Paul was talking about the Israelite to somebody who wasn't an Israelite. Paul then established that he's talking about Esau and Jacob. Then these people who he never said anything wrong to or about automatically said that God had a problem with them after he just explained how Esau was evil. So are these people saying that they're Esau? So when Paul is explaining about Esau's death, they're saying, why does God find fault if he made Esau that way? Yes, because these are Romans Paul was talking to. How we gonna prove this? Easy. You finding it, brother?
Yeah, fam.
Go ahead.
Now I give you two verses, a two kicker, you know.
Yeah, man, go ahead, man. Drop
In
them.
the book of Isaiah 40 and verse 15. Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket, and are counted as a small dust of the balance.
The nations are as a drop as a bucket, right? Are falling from a bucket and are counted from as the dust from the balance, right? Am I correct? All right, read.
Behold, he taketh up the isles as a very little thing. Verse 17, all nations before him are as nothing.
Are as what?
Are as nothing.
Are as what?
Are as nothing.
All nations are as nothing. So when Esau is called the unclean vessel or the vessel of wrath or the vessel of death, that makes total sense. It's easy. Give me the next one. That's in the book of 2nd Ezra, correct? Chapter 5, verses 50.
That one there.
Yeah, 56.
I done 17. All nations before him are as nothing, and they are counted to him less than nothing.
Less than nothing. What would bumbo clock this? God say you're nothing and you're less than nothing. You germs. Read.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6 and verse 56. And it reads, as for the other people, which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing.
They are what?
They are nothing.
Read.
But be like unto spittle.
Be like unto what?
Unto spittle.
Unto take off the
Unto spit.
Unto what?
Unto spit.
Read.
And has likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel.
Booyakasha. That is it, my brother. Carry on reading.
Romans chapter 9 verses 21. Had not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor?
So Paul is telling these Caucasian Romans that you are the vessel of dishonor. The context is vessel of honor and vessel of dishonor. Context is that you will be lifted up as Pharaoh is lifted up. Esau is the one that's lifted up. Even Daniel, I think chapter 7 tells you that the Grecians shall be the ones that are the last ones. You know, the Romans and the Grecians, even in the book, the dream of Nebuchadnezzar, the Roman Empire, the clay and the iron empire together, and at the end, boom, this not hard enough, fam. Read.
Romans chapter 9 verses 22. What if God, willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endure it with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction, and that he might make known the riches of his glory on the vessels of mercy, which he had afore prepared unto glory.
Afore, he, just like what we read in verses 11, he prepared them before they even knew they were going to be created to be the ones of righteousness. The Israelites.
Born.
What you say, brother?
Me I agree, I said from before they were born.
Khan, and this is what is in verses 11. Go back to verses 11 and read it.
Verses 11.
Mm.
So this is Romans chapter 9 verses 11. For the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of God according to election might stand, not of works, but of him that calleth.
See? So this was election. They were elected from before birth that Jacob and his people would be the righteous vessels. Esau and his people would be the unrighteous vessels. This is why Paul is telling Esau and his people, and they're asking him, so why is God finding fault with us then if he made us that way? Because they're dying, they're suffering, the sun is burning the shit out of them. People need to understand why these people are asking Paul this. Read.
What if God willing to show
There
his
is already.
Okay. So continuing at Romans chapter 9 verses 24. Even us whom he had called, not of Jews only, but also of the Gentiles.
Stop. So Paul just said literally, even us who he has called, not of the Jews only, but of the Gentiles. Are we not talking about two vessels still? No, my question, did the context change from two vessels to know Jews and Gentiles, or is it still on context, which is two vessels, unclean and clean, and now we just call two names, Jews and Gentiles, so it's saying one of them is clean and one of them is unclean? Because both of them are called, because even the unclean vessel is called to be unclean. What is it saying? Read it again for them.
Romans chapter 9 verses 24. Even us whom he had called, not of the Jews only, but also of the Gentiles.
See? So he's saying even us who he called. Who was called? Who was it chosen? The Jews. But not of the Jews only. You motherfucking Gentiles are called too. You're called to do the evil part. Yeah. The vessels of wrath. The vessels of destruction. The vessels of death. The vessels of Father stepping in your fucking neck. Read it again.
Even us whom he had called, not of the Jews only, but also of the Gentiles.
So both of them are called. Both good and evil is called. Somebody give me Isaiah 45 verses 7.
This is the book of Isaiah 45 and verse 7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil.
Oh, I make peace and I create the evil. I make it and I create evil. You have something you want to say, brother?
I, the Lord Yahweh, do all these things.
Oh, so God is always bringing these two vessels in. One peace, one evil. One light, one darkness. So he's there in Romans now. Paul is reiterating the same thing. He's saying, you're the vessel that matches up to the evil that God did. And we, the people of Israel, are the vessel that matches up to the peace that God brought. Because the Bible keeps on saying, you should be the light of the nations to one people. Israel, light. You know, light in darkness, light, you know, good in evil. Read.
Romans chapter 9 verses 25. As he said also in OC, I will call them my people which were not my people.
Boom. Because he's still talking about his people. He's saying, Two vessels, one clean, one unclean. He called us the clean vessels, and he called you the unclean vessels too, because you have your work to do. Everybody has the same job to do. My wife said something about Satan earlier on and how they were complaining in heaven. Can you please reiterate that? When they were being charged, and
okay.
Satan never understand.
Okay, so I was just saying that just as how we're reading Romans, and the Romans are saying, if that's how they were created, why is it that there is the Most High finding fault with them? I was just saying that during the court, or the court, what should I say, system in heaven, when the angels were being summoned, some of them were making the same complaints to say, if you put this spirit on us to do these things and we did it, then why are you chastising us now and punishing us to go on the earth and to be these vessels of dishonor, basically, when it is you who actually gave us or put the spirit on us to do these things?
So the angels actually ask the same thing that these white people are asking. If you made us this way, why are you then punishing us? But the thing about the angels and white people is that when Paul was explaining to them, they still didn't get it. But when the angels got explained it too, and I said this to my wives, and look how me go make uno head boss you know. When the angels went to court, did they not come down here and become principalities? Can somebody get me the verse where the demon said to him, "Are you ready for us at our time?" Wait, at our time? Is it our time? So these demons that got punished actually came down to do work. So even though they're getting punished, they're down here doing their job. Are we gonna prove that they're doing their job by reading the Bible? Remember we're reading Romans with precepts. Yeah. If you can't find it, brother, you can drop it to anybody who find it first.
Matthew 8 and 29.
Read it. Right where the pigs, right where the demons say, you can bring a chair, say no. Right where the demons say, and spin it that way. Right where the demons say, is it our time? They come for us at our time?
And behold, they cried out, saying, what have we to do?
No, chapter and verse. Again, sorry.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 8 and verse 29. And behold, they cried out, saying, what have we to do with thee, Yahushua, thou Son of God? Art thou come hither to torment us before the time?
Before the what?
Before the time.
So that means demons know that there's a time that they're supposed to be tormented as they are tormenting us. Can we agree on that?
Can
we agree that demons know that there's a time to come where they will be tormented as they're tormenting us right now? Everybody in the comments, can we agree on that? Read it again for them, my brother.
Can. This is the book of Matthew chapter 8 and verse 29. And behold, they cried out, saying, what have we to do with thee, Yahushua, thou Son of God? Art thou come hither to torment us before the time?
So the demons are asking him, you come to whoop us, you come to thwart us, you come to beat us, you come to torment us before the time. So there is a time that that will happen to them. But is it now? Is it like as the time sped up? Like did the time change? Because they're waiting for a time, but they know it's not yet. They know that the time is not yet. Wait, because remember, from the time of Jesus till now is 2,000 years gone. So they're like, wait, 1 minute. Is it the 2,000 years or 3,000 years come off? I thought we had like 2,000 years left. I thought we had like 3,000 years left. Wagwan. Like wagwan. The demons know the principalities. They come down. Demons and principalities are doing a job. They're tormenting as they will be tormented. So that means that when they went to court in heaven, they came down with Satan and they're still doing God's what? Work. They're still doing God's work because the Bible said the wicked is created. Somebody read that. Proverbs 16 verses 4 again.
In Mark 5 verse 17, and cried with a loud voice of a division, and said, what have I to do with thee, Jesus, thou Son of the Most High God? I adjure thee by God that thou torment me not. So like them are begging not to take them yet.
Mhm.
And to trouble them.
That's why one verse says, "Is it the time?" and the next verse said, "Don't do it." Because they put all them together. That's why they think that they're saying separate things, but they're not. They're saying the same thing. But read that for them, though.
This is Mark chapter 5 and verse
Nicola.
7. Mark chapter 5, verse 6 and 7. But when he saw Jesus afar off, he ran and worshipped him, and cried with a loud voice, and said, What have I to do with thee?
So the demon inside of a man ran to worship Jesus.
Yeah.
Read.
What have I to do with thee, Jesus, thou Son of the Most High God? I adjure thee by God that thou torment me not. For he said unto him, Come out of the man, thou unclean spirit. And he asked him, What is thy name? And he answered, saying, My name is Legion, for we are many.
Hear that? So right there it answered, "We are many." And these demons were asking him, is it their time as yet? So even the demons are working for the Most High after being sent to punishment on the earth. So that shows you that there's a vessel made for destruction and there's a vessel made for life. This is the context. This is why when Paul said, oh, there is not only the Jews, but also the Gentiles are called. The Jews are called as the vessels of, because that's the context, life. And the Gentiles are called as the vessels of destruction. This is so easy. It's ridiculous easy. Read that again though. Wallace.
Romans chapter 9 verses 25. As he said also in OC, I don't smell anything.
Open up here. Real, I don't know.
Me see a job, but me never know what me
Are you?
No,
That's you, no?
no, I did not. That is the truth.
Go on. Somebody do something. Go on.
Romans chapter 9 verses 25. As he said also in OC, I will call them my people, which were not my people, and her beloved, which was not beloved. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, Ye are not my people, there shall they be called my children, called the children of the living God.
So right there, my family, this is what makes it even a bigger kicker. It says that Paul just spoke about unclean vessel, clean vessel. Then all of a sudden after he said, okay, both people, two people are called, Gentiles and also the Jews. The Gentiles are the unclean vessel, the Jews are the clean vessel. Then he also reiterated what happens for the clean vessels, because the unclean vessels, they all are already dead. That's why he gave them Esau. He says, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. It clearly stated in Malachi that they will die, they will be wiped out. So he doesn't have to iterate or reiterate a bag of thing about them. Their death is already in verses 14, where it says, I hate Esau and I love Jacob. Right? So with that being said, right here it's telling us about OC. Who have OC? Alright.
I know somebody have that one there.
This is the book of Hosea, chapter 1, verse 9. I'm going to start from 8. Now when she had weaned Lorama, she conceived and bare a son. Then said God, Call his name Lo-Ami, for ye are not my people, and I will not be your God.
Read it again.
Now, Hosea chapter 1, verse 8 and 9. Now, when she had weaned Lorama, she conceived and bare a son. Then said God, Call his name Lo-Ami, for ye are not my people, and I will not be your God.
So this is in OC where God called us not his people. Let's read what the sister said again. Read.
Romans chapter 9 verses 26. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, Ye are not my people, there shall they be called the children of the living God.
Precept in chapter 2, my brother. Hosea
Go ahead, read
chapter
it now.
2 and the last verse. And I will sow her unto me in the earth, and I will have mercy upon her that had not obtained mercy. And I will say to them which were not my people, Thou art my people, and they shall say, Thou art my God.
Con. Carry on.
Continuing, this is Romans chapter 9, verses 27. Esaias also cried concerning Israel. Though the number of the children of Israel be as the sand of the sea, a remnant shall be saved. For he will finish the work and cut it short in righteousness, because a short work will the Lord make upon the earth.
Read it again.
Romans chapter 9, verses 27. Esaias also cried concerning Israel. Though the number of the children of Israel be as the sand of the sea,
Get that.
a remnant shall be saved. For he will finish the work and cut it short in righteousness. For he will finish the work and cut it short in righteousness, because a short work will the Lord make upon the earth.
So we're gonna get that in Isaiah. They're getting it. Give me a second. So in Isaiah, you find it?
This is the book of Isaiah chapter 10 verse 22. For though thy people Israel be as the sand of the sea, yet a remnant of them shall return. The consumption decreed shall overflow with righteousness.
Read it again.
Isaiah chapter 10 verse 22. For though thy people Israel be as the sand of the sea, yet a remnant of them shall return. The consumption decreed shall overflow with righteousness.
So Paul is talking about the righteous vessel Israel and the unrighteous vessel Esau, the Gentiles who he was talking to at the time, who were Romans. Paul was talking to Romans, telling them, you're the unclean vessel, but you're also chosen to be the unclean vessel. We're the righteous vessel, and we're chosen to be the righteous vessel. Literally, we're called to be righteous vessels. You're called to be an unrighteous vessel. Read.
This is Romans chapter 9, verses 29. And as Isaiah said before, except the Lord of Sabbath. Sabaoth. Okay, sorry. So Romans chapter 9, verses 29. And as Isaiah said before, except the Lord of Sabaoth has left us a seed, we had been as a Sodoma and being made like unto Gomorrah.
Sodom and Gomorrah.
Oh, check out Mrs. Sodoma.
Yeah, I Greek. This Sodom. Read it again.
So this is Romans chapter 9, verses 29. And as Isaiah said before.
Isaiah, let's say Isaiah.
And as Isaiah said before, except the Lord of Sabaoth had left us a seed, we had been as Sodom and had been made like Gomorrah. What shall we say then? That the Gentiles which followed not after righteousness.
No, stop right there. Read that part. That's what me want. That's how we stop on the live with there.
I cut out from when I hear on the night look like this.
That question mark. Don't read nothing else.
What shall we say then?
What's the question? If I came to the door and say, I knocked on the door and you open it and I say, what shall we say then? What's the question I'm asking you?
Brother, a
What
part
is
of the
this
question.
next? I'm asking
You
you.
be walking them there over the life, brother.
Well, wait, let me see what wait. I think the mic's supposed to ready though. Come on, sit on the mic and walk absolutely. Everybody, right? Everyone in the comments, go for the mic. You're clean. Right?
What shall we say then?
If I came to all of your doorsteps and knocked on your door and asked you the question, what shall we say then? This is what was happening on the last live and we couldn't get past this because not put the next one on charge too. Before you.
If somebody asks me that, would I say tell me now? Because I don't know what you're talking about. You say what?
Yeah.
So tell me what you're talking about. Yeah, go ahead, fam.
Go on.
If you should come to my doorstep and ask me, what shall we say then? I would just assume that you're asking me what the plans for the day.
See, but that's your thoughts though.
Yeah, that's my thought. But what's the question?
That's the point. That's your thoughts, correct?
Yeah, that wouldn't, and it wouldn't make no
Because
sense.
what if
in
when
that
what if
context.
when you say that I'm not coming to talk about no plans for the day?
Exactly. But I'm saying that's what would have come to my mind initially.
But what you did was you alright. You answered just like Genesis did, right? Was just give a random answer.
Right.
But that is exactly what I want. it's gonna be two ways. It's either you're gonna guess what I'm saying, what shall we say then,
Mm-hmm.
or you're gonna wait until I tell you.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. If you should just ask me and stand there looking in my face, I'm gonna assume you're asking me what are my plans for the day. But your
But
question
if
is
you
not
give the mic to
clear.
somebody else and see what they
Your
would say.
question is not clear.
Because what if you and I are not friends?
Right.
Maybe you and I are friends, so you can say what you can think. Oh, maybe what is for the day. But say the rest of you, I'm not friends with you, and I come to your door and say, what shall we say then? Question mark.
If somebody came to my door and was like, what shall we say then? I would think it's a rhetorical question as it pertains to a question that don't needs an answer. You know, I would be waiting to see,
Why they ask me?
yeah, what the person I come with next, because
you can't answer that.
I wouldn't be able to answer that. I wouldn't know where you come with, so I kind of have to wait to see what you're going to say to me. So I would think it's just a question that don't necessarily need an answer.
From you or from me?
From me, from the
Okay.
person in the house.
Okay. Go ahead, pass the mic.
When I hear the question, I would probably ask what you're trying to say because I don't get it. So it's not really a question for me to answer.
Okay, come on, mom. No, you don't have to hold the mic. Just tell us what. If I came to your door and say, talk to the mic, lean forward. If I came to your door and say, what shall we say then? With a question mark. What would be the question? What is the question I asked you?
No, I'll just be waiting.
Yes, we don't know. Because I just said what to say. So yeah, so everybody doesn't know what's the question. All right. Okay, cool. Carry on reading.
So continuing at Romans chapter 9 verses 30. What shall we say then? That the Gentiles which followed not
This
after...
is the question right here. The question is what he's about to ask now.
Yeah.
So he's saying what. So the question is, what are we gonna say? He's asking you, what are we gonna say? So what are we gonna say are we saying that the Gentile read?
What are we going to say then? That the Gentiles which followed not after righteousness have attained the righteousness, even the righteousness which... Sorry. So this is Romans chapter 9 verses 30. What shall we say then? That the Gentiles which followed not after righteousness have attained the righteousness, even the righteousness which is of faith? But Israel...
So are we saying that these Gentiles who didn't follow no righteousness just attained righteousness
Man,
of faith?
What kind of fuckery that you know chat?
It's even like seriously, the man is literally asking these Gentiles thought they was gonna be saved. No, the Christian doctrine they call us Christians in Antioch.
That man, yo, Paul Affy Benjamin fam.
What you mean? Him a general, he must say, hey, what you say? What you bumbo class say? You when you do no blood clot work.
Oh, yeah,
I get saved?
Yeah,
Go
man.
suck your mother. Yeah, man. Part of just like me, bro. You just like me.
Just
Go
like,
on.
just like the Christians of today who say what you need to be saved is to just believe in Jesus.
Yes.
And that's it. You don't have to put no works behind it, no nothing. Just believe in Jesus.
So let's use that as an example. Christians, what are you saying? That all we have to do is just follow Jesus and we get saved? Oh. Is that way? So basically Paul is asking these Gentiles the same thing. Christians, are you saying you never put in no work? It's just gonna get, you never even seek after righteousness? You never even do anything righteous? It's gonna get the gifts of righteousness? Read it again for him, blood. Read it again for the blood clot stiff necks.
This is Romans chapter 9 verses 30. What shall we say then? That the Gentiles which followed not after righteousness have attained righteousness, even the righteousness which is of faith?
So it just said the righteousness of faith. Now let's see where the righteousness of faith come from. Because Paul got this. Somebody can get me Galatians 3. I
It's
said the
Luke.
righteousness of faith.
This is the book of Galatians 3 and 22. But the scripture had concluded all under sin, that the promise by faith of Yahushua HaMashiach might be given to them that believe. But before faith,
So right here it's talking about the faith of a Mashiach. And it will be given unto them that believe, right? Now, before you finish reading, let's just reiterate why we went to this precept.
Romans chapter 9, verses 30. What shall we say then? That the Gentiles which followed not after righteousness have attained to righteousness, even the righteousness which is of faith?
It didn't say nothing about no bumbleclot law. So I don't want nobody to come tell me about how they followed law. He said they followed not after righteousness and they just attained faith after not following nothing good. These demons, these wicked entities, wicked beings just got righteousness after not even following after it. They got the gift of righteousness even though they never followed after it. Read that, my brother.
Khan. But before faith came, we were kept under the law, shut up unto the faith, which should afterwards be revealed.
So, faith is revealed after following the law. Listen to the next part that Paul says.
Verse 24. Where
Wait, man, keep that. One lot.
Khan. Alright.
Romans chapter 9, verses 31. But Israel, which followed after the law of righteousness.
But who?
But Israel, which followed after the law of righteousness.
Stop. Read that again, brother.
Khan. But before faith came, we were kept under the law.
Stop. Read that again.
But Israel, which followed after the law of righteousness.
My brother, one more time for them. Because we're going to spit it in them head till them get it. So one verse says, Israel followed after the law of righteousness, right? And the next one says that we are kept under the law. But remember, the both of them says that the end result is faith, right? So let's see.
But
But
Israel, which followed
Salah.
after the law of righteousness, had not attained to the law of righteousness. Wherefore, because they sought it not by faith, but as it were by the works of the law, for they stumbled at the stumbling stone.
So it just said that Israel stumbled because they were trying to use the law and the works of the law to say that literally they had faith. But how can you show me your faith, right, without showing me your works? So if when you try to show me your works, it doesn't show faith, that means that the laws that you was following was not laws of God, but those were laws of men. Just like when the man came to Christ, these Pharisees, and said to him, why is it that your disciples are eating with unwashed hands? Didn't Christ say in reply, these are doctrines of your counsel? These are, get that for me, anybody.
Traditions of men.
That is it. Get it for me.
Matthew 15. Verse. Yeah, and the kicker.
Yeah, man. Just read it. Read the whole tree verse.
Khan.
The tree.
Then came to Yahushua scribes and Pharisees, which were of Salak. They on the outside from Salak. Then came to Yahushua scribes and Pharisees, which were of Jerusalem, saying, verse 2, why do thy disciples transgress the tradition of the elders?
Read.
For they wash not their hands when they eat bread. They say not about pork or no unclean food. Bread. Verse 3, but he answered and said unto them, why do you also transgress the commandment of God by your tradition?
By your what?
By your tradition.
Whose tradition?
Your tradition.
No, God's tradition.
Your tradition.
So they went against the law because of traditions that they made up coming from men.
Khan.
Okay then, read it again, Daddy.
Romans chapter 9, verses 32. Wherefore, because they sought it not by faith, but as it were by the works of the law, for they stumbled at that stumbling stone.
So because of the works of the law, which is laws, they added, right, to the word, because these are, remember, Paul was the Pharisees of the Pharisees. Paul was the Jew that went against the Jews. And he also went against the fake ass Gentiles, which is the Romans. In this chapter, he goes after them. It's easy to see. No, carry on reading.
As it is written, behold, I lay in Zion a stumbling stone and a rock of offense, and whatsoever believeth on him shall not be ashamed.
So the stumbling block is Christ, because they never knew that the law was always supposed to bring us to Christ. Always supposed to bring us to this thing. This is how now the Gentiles, the reason why Paul said the same place they call us in OC, not his people will be called his people again, is because when Paul was talking, there was people in the crowd shouting at him, I thought y'all ain't got people again. God disowned you. He beat you. Remember in Jerusalem when we said raise it, raise it, raise it, and y'all are being destroyed. Yeah, God don't love you no more. And Paul said, what are you talking about? The same place that he called us, not his people in OC. I can show you a verse where it says, I can show you a quote, I can show you a scroll, because Paul is showing them where he got this from, where it says that we will be called his people again. This is easy from.
Hey, my brother.
He was. Go ahead.
Sorry if you cut you, my brother, but you're patient when you're over on their live, they coming home, I get dark over there on them already.
Brother, me I tell you how I want to get dark, and me I hold it back, brother. Me I hold it back. But you see, let's get to where now this man, love run off him mouth now, and he brought up a verse that he want to. Wait. We're not done.
Hard enough, you understand.
We're not done. So watch this now. Now we're gonna get to the verse that Yaman loves to quote, because he keeps on saying that Gentiles are saved, our people are saved by grace, and also they're saved by the grafting in. Let's go to Romans 9. Let's go to Romans 11 and 1.
This is Romans chapter 11 verses 1. I say then, had God cast away his people? God forbid, for I also am an Israelite, of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin. God has not cast away his people which he foreknew. What ye not what the scripture saith of Elias, how he maketh intercessions to God against Israel, saying, Lord, they have killed thy prophets, and digged down thine altars, and I am left alone, and they seek my life.
Doesn't the Bible say that we kill the prophets in the book of Isaiah? He sent us messengers and prophets and we kill them. Find that for them, brother. Quick and fast.
Alright.
We kill the prophets. We like words smooth like butter. We like words smooth. We don't want them to give us harsh words, but smooth words. There's so many verses that talks about us loving smooth words and how we kill the prophets. When you have it, tell me.
Oh, you want the one in the Old Testament?
Yes. Oh, nothing new.
Alright. I was showing a lick stone for them there. Come Google, no fuck yourself now. Me a second level, brother.
Yeah, man, take your time, man. A precept, we are working so on. The precept. No, the strongs in it could have just write kill thy prophets in it to pop up.
Yeah, man, I will leave them, man. Alright, so
Me I tell you, man.
this is 1 Kings 19 and 10. That you know a different translation. I go in a KJV. (19 and 10). Alright, so this is the book of 1 Kings chapter 19 and verse 10. And he said, I have been very jealous for the Lord Yahweh, God of hosts, for the children of Israel have forsaken thy covenant, thrown down thine altars, and slain thy prophets with the sword.
What? What did they do?
And slain thy prophets with the sword.
Read your verse again. Hold that, brother.
Khan.
Romans chapter 11 verses 3. For they have killed thy prophets and digged down thine altars,
Oh, so that a match up. Carry on reading.
and I am left alone, and they seek my life. But what
So
say
Paul is saying that he's a prophet like those men, and he's left alone, and they seek his life. Read.
But what saith the answer of God unto him? I have reserved to myself 7,000 men, who have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal. Even so, then at this present time also there is a remnant according to the election of grace.
So who is Paul still talking to? Because Paul is talking to somebody. But let's see who he's talking to. Read.
And if by grace, then is it not more of works? Otherwise, grace is no more grace. But
See, so right there is the kicker. If it is of grace, then it's not more of works. So it's not more works than grace or grace than works. They're equal, literally. Read.
Romans chapter 11 verses 6, and if by grace, then is it not, and if by grace, then is it no more of works? Otherwise, grace is no more grace.
Stop. So Paul just cut bumbuckler that man when named Yaman. Well, see, Yaman no like precepts. He only likes precepts for people who he allows to have precepts, like the guy. And he said I caught him. He didn't allow me to do no precepts or want me to do no precepts, but yet he wants everybody else to do it. This is what these niggas do. They think they can catch you, and then when they use a specific book, and you use the same book like a Strong's, all of a sudden when you're catching them in the Strong's, now their big heads turn to small heads. Now they don't know nothing, and they're dunce, and they just want you to say yes or no. They don't want no breakdown no more. Over here we use all of the books. Over here we use all of the precepts. Over here we use all of the Strong's and all of the this. But when it's time to do so, they do none of that. The Bible says you shall know them by their works.
Can't
Boom!
cut off a man in a mid-sign speech.
And they did that to me many times. But no worries, we there have a different part of our own platform. You see me? Yeah, man. Big and bold. Carry on reading.
Romans chapter 11 verses 6, and if by grace, then is it no more of works? Otherwise, grace is no more grace.
So all you big pussy holes who said Paul just said that there's no more blood clot works, you big pussy holes just lied and bumbuckler Paul. Listen what he said again. He first read the part where he said there, that grace don't overpower works, and then read the part where he said God, that works don't overpower grace. You just read it before. Read 2 verses above. The one may just read.
Romans chapter 11 verses 4. But what saith the answer of God unto him?
So this is the answer to something. Read.
I have reserved to myself 7,000 men who have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal. Even so, then at this present time also there is a remnant according to the election of grace.
Election, the same election that he was talking about in Romans 9. The elected ones, who are Israelites, who pertain to the adoption, the law, the giving of the promises, the glory, the covenants. Read.
And if by grace, then is it no more of works?
So if it's by grace, because if he's saying, if Yaman is saying that Paul is telling Gentiles that they can literally go and be saved by grace, listen what Paul is saying. He's not even telling you it's no more works. He's asking, is there a question? Is there a question? Just read it. If it of grace, then it is no more of works. He's making a statement. Read.
And if by grace, then is it no more of works? Otherwise, grace is no more grace.
So he's saying, and if there's no more works, then grace can't be grace no more. Boom! Read it again for them.
Romans chapter 11 verses 6. And if by grace, then is it no more of works? Otherwise, grace is no more grace.
Now go back to Romans 9 to show them what Paul was talking about when he said, oh, is it that you people didn't do shit and is going to get righteousness through grace, and we over these Israelites who did everything is not going to get none. He didn't say they weren't. He didn't say they weren't. He's asking a question, then there's a big dirty full stop. Read it again.
Amen. This is Romans chapter 9 verses 30. What shall we